40 runs and 7 wickets.
Was 2 not out and Broad 4 not out at the end of the day.
Right, I just set it up. We're broadcasting to Facebook and YouTube. Hello, people.
Hello, we're live.
We're
people
live.
out there.
We're
We're
going to be a
live.
shambles.
Would you believe it? Look at us sitting
Right.
there looking at overlooking.
So Mitchell Johnson has
Swanwick.
literally just delivered the last ball of the last over.
He has indeed. It's 147 for 3. It's Nathan Horrocks in bowling to Peterson, who goes back, just lets the ball come on to the bat and dribbles it out on the offside. There is no run. We're into the 46th over of the innings. England 147 for 3. If you're just joining us on Guerrilla Cricket Experimental Service from various houses around the south of England and the south of London, or even the north of London. This is swept by Peterson down to a man who's come in a little bit from deep backward square. Peter Siddle, I think it is, doing the fielding, and they get through for 148 for 3. We'll come to your tweets at the end of the over. You're listening to me, Gorilla Hender. We have not Fred Titmus on board. We have Tony the Bishop on board, and we have the Bear in the studio. In comes Horrocks. Just a little bit more air, but as Tony described him, Brigadier Block almost dead bats that to the man at short leg. Horrocks wanders back before the great Nathan Lyon had been unearthed by this Australian setup. In he comes again, bowls. This one's given even more air, and it does just turn a little bit. Collingwood props forward and actually takes it on the pad. I'm surprised there wasn't a little bit of interest in that one. It probably just turning down the leg side.
I'm hugely impressed with Horrocks. I think he's got a wonderful career ahead of him. And,
well, apparently,
we're going to see him for 15 years in this Australian team, a fixture.
Well, absolutely, and I don't expecting him to be selling off his equipment from his garage anytime soon. This is defended out on the offside by Collingwood coming through. Horrocks, Michael Clarke just taking off his baggy green to ruffle his own hair a little bit, looking a bit quizzical. How can we get the breakthrough? This partnership now worth well over 50. Horrocks has it back in his hands. He's just fiddling the ball from right to left hand. Then he advances. Quite a straight, long run up for a spinner. Gives this one air really nicely. Defended into the onside to the man at short leg. That is the end of the over. We've got any tweets out there?
We do, actually. I'll do some.
Okay.
Blessed and specifically favoured. Chris Charlie Poole says, can you guys think of English cricketers who are not right-wing tossers? I only have Mo and Mark Wood thus far.
I think that's a very apt and appropriate tweet for the time of the era that we're in one sense. Just looking across to, well, I'd like to be able to tell you what that is. I don't really know Wales very well, but I'm guessing that's
Millennium
That's the Millennium Stadium.
What's the river? Someone tell me what
the
the
River
is.
Taff, you muppet.
It's the River Taff. That's right. It's the River Taff, and it's looking out to sea, and it's really rather
the River
wonderful.
Swalek.
Cardiff. It's a River Swalek, yes, just winding its way past the ground. It really is quite a lovely panorama, that, as the camera swings back round. Look at the Betfair blimp up there as well.
Well, I'd say
I don't know what that is.
going forward, nearly 10 years from this test, I reckon I might be sitting in a box there somewhere.
Do you think so? Do you think that you might get to do some of the World Cup then, Bear?
I think my future holds that, Hendo. My future holds that. And
that's amazing.
The only thing is, I think they're going to be really shit boxes for us at the Swalek.
Do you think that'll be with Guerrilla Cricket then, Bear? As this is forced off the back foot by Peterson. It's Michael Clarke has come on to bowl. We got a jingle for Michael Clarke up there, Bear.
Oh well, God, man, these are going back into the archives. Let me see what we have. I'm sure. Did we have Michael Clarke? Well, yeah, we did, because he was. We have a great jingle.
Michael Clarke.
Sing that song.
Sing the song.
Come on, Clarkey, sing the song.
Captain of Australia onto the back foot goes. Well, he wasn't captain at this point, was he? Of course, it was Ricky Ponting still. This is played to a man at shortish mid-wicket by Collingwood. You see the field plan: 4 men on the onside. In comes left arm round the wicket. Clarke, and Collingwood uses his feet to get down to the pitch of that and just defends it back. Plenty of work going on the ball. Of course, wouldn't be allowed to put spittle on the ball in this series coming up in July. In comes Clarke again. He's down the wicket, and Collingwood has reached it, lifted it. Probably didn't get it quite as he wanted. It might even pull up in front of the crowd down there. It does by about a foot, and they get back for second. England's 150 comes up, 151 for 3. Collingwood rehearses the shot, or plays the shot that he would have preferred to play. Just a little bit too under that, maybe not quite at the pitch, but safe enough. Flatter one from Clark, which is just patted back to him by Collingwood. It was flat. It was fairly short. It was almost as if he couldn't be bothered to do anything with that delivery.
It seemed to squat in a pitch a bit as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did indeed. He's certainly some flat deliveries from these two Australian spinners. This one he lets come right onto him as he goes back deep in his crease and fiddles it away on the onside out to deep backward square. Runs very slowly. That is the end of the over. 152 for 3 from 47 overs. Any more tweets?
No.
Well, I'm watching on Facebook Live, and I'm interested to see that Megan Shutt is bowling to Rajeshwari Gaikwad.
That's not so good, is it? That's not so good. That's not the game we're actually covering, so I'm not quite sure why that is.
No, but she has taken 4 for 18, so credit to her.
Well, no, absolutely. I'm not knocking that at all. I'm going to see if it's the same on my Facebook.
An SA boy wants to know, has Tony decorated his whole house in that Gorilla Cricket wallpaper?
Yes, it's like the
very good point.
It's like the Alan Partridge show where he goes back to a fan's house and everything's decorated in pictures of himself.
Oh, is that the guy who has like the sort of the shrine to him with all the pictures? And
Well, do we
stuff,
want Michael Clark's jingle? It's a rather good one.
Go on then.
Okay, here it goes. Are you going to do anything, you stupid machine? No.
Better get it in before Nathan Horrocks starts his new over.
It could take a whole over.
The machine's not. The machine's not playing ball here.
Not playing for you. That sounds terrible.
But not for long.
Oh my word! The computer's gone weird.
Telling me.
No. I can't. I can't do anything with it. It's failing. Fuck off!
Keep up the good work, sir. Good day and now the time.
What's going on? What's going on there?
I don't know. The computer's gone crazy.
Pull all the plugs out.
It's like one of your worst jingles, like Dane Pete.
Dane Pete!
It's like on a. It's quit, basically. It's had a fit, and yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
close the program. I'll reopen it.
All right, okay. In the mind, Tony, do you want to do a bit of commentary?
I can, Hendo. I absolutely can. Remembering I'm a tad behind. But Collingwood, just a little adjustment of his most important equipment. Michael Clark has his hands on his knees. Horrocks skips in, gives that a bit of pace on that one, and it's worked backward a square. They will just take a single, bringing the tall, unmistakable figure of Peterson onto strike. We have just 2 balls left in this 47th over. England 153 for 3. Not the most perfect of days. We've got plenty of cloud cover here on the banks of the River Taff. In comes Harris again. Bit more air this time. Peterson, very unhurried, just drops a bat on it away into the onside. And there's no run. Just the 1 ball left of the 48th over. Ricky Ponting's already had a good look at the ball a few times. That one is straight. Goes on with the arm. Peterson just plays that one off the back foot away into the onside. No run. So after 48 overs, England 153 for 3. Represents a bit of a recovery. And these two going quite nicely, I think, Hendo.
Yeah, and amazingly, Brian Clough is trending on Twitter for some reason. Young man. I can't.
What, in
then or now?
2009?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. He's maybe they're building a statue that they're going to pull down of Brian Clough. I mean, I would if I was a Derby fan, to be honest.
Well, Michael Clark's going to continue. His sleeves rolled down in that kind of way that is normally unique to spin bowlers, with some left arm sort of round-shouldered rubbish, really, around the wicket as he's into the right-hander. He has taken a couple of 2-wicket hauls in the past. That one does turn just a shade, but nothing that's going to trouble a man as set as Collingwood here.
Yeah, got 6 for 9.
Yeah,
against
exactly. In
as
India.
I remember. Yeah,
Did you know?
absolutely.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, tremendous performance.
Gives this one some more air. Stylishly stroked to mid-off, and they will take a single this time. Moves the score on to 154 for 3. this partnership now. 64 runs of 144 balls. Interesting combination, this too, if you think about the resolute nature of Collingwood and the often more expansive Peterson, who, as if to prove me completely wrong, plays a very Collingwood-like, stubborn front foot forward defensive shot in the most earnest and controlled manner you could ever imagine. Clark's going to be in again. Well, a big, a strangle shout. I think there was a huge chunk of inside edge on that one, Hendo.
Yeah, I was curious. I saw it. I thought that's worth a shout, isn't it? But there must have been something on it.
No one seems to be getting that excited. Least of all, Michael Clark, who can be quite excitable. He has one slip in place. And that one is just turned towards square leg. There isn't a man at square leg, so mid wicket has to jog around. And it will be a single. It will be the end of the over. England on 155 for 3.
Yes, indeed. I'm still trying to find out more about Brian Clough and why he's trending in 2009. It's very odd indeed. Also trending, James Anderson. I don't think it's the James Anderson that we know and love. It might be another James Anderson. I think it is.
You mean there is another one?
Apparently so.
Peterson looks like he's hobbling as he came
does
down
he?
the wicket there. Yeah.
He does.
He's done a hammy.
you're right.
Oh, hammy. Well, we don't want him to doing hamming. I mean, of course, remember, they've got that wonderful partnership. Well, I don't really like to remember it too closely, as I'll break off as Horitz is on his way. And Peterson, sorry, I'm going to jump in there because I realised that you better be 9 seconds behind me. He tries to play the sweep shot, yes, from outside off stump. But yes, as you see, I said I did very, very quietly say when
I did hear you actually.
Yeah, Michael Peterson. So Michael Clark, a potential appeal.
I think he got a bit of bottom edge. Would you
Horitz in again onto the back foot, played to short leg. Simon Katic under the lid there, I think, at short leg. Well outside the off stump, that no point in appealing, and he did play an expansive sweep shot, even though he didn't make any connection. And Hawkeye going on to show that it would have missed off stump by a couple of inches or so. I was just thinking, of course, Collingwood and Peterson, that marvellous partnership at Adelaide in 2006. Of course, we all know what happened on the last day there. It went horribly wrong. Horitz in again, bowl swept by Peterson, again reaching well outside his off stump, getting a big stride in and playing it away to deep backward square. Fred, do you want to do a tiny bit of commentary?
No, but news is reaching me of today, the 1st of July 2009, that a bunch of strange people in South London have set up some kind of an alternative service for broadcasting cricket.
Oh, really?
It doesn't sound like it'll come to much. And
I don't. I've heard a bit of
stupid people. But
I've heard a bit of that, and I don't really like the lead commentator. He's a bit obnoxious, isn't he? He's very loud.
Oh yeah.
Very loud.
I mean,
indeed.
He's so obnoxious.
The guy who organises it, all right, though. You know.
Test match special. That's how obnoxious.
Yeah, I wonder where he'll be in 11 years' time.
Oh, dead in a ditch, probably. His liver will have been awarded to medical science for testing.
Well, apparently, a liver will be now, won't it? All livers are, unless you opt out of it now. Livers are allowed to be removed from you. So if you do perish in that, you can. You have no unless you sign out and say I don't want it. Your liver will be used. Goodness me! Can you imagine someone getting Norcroft's liver? That wouldn't be fair. That would be worse than actually having your old liver, probably.
That would be a death sentence. Anyway, Peterson is on strike, and he's got two bright flashes of day-glow green on his gloves. Very modern. As Horitz, right arm over the wicket. Not a particularly graceful action, bowls. Regulation off break outside the off stump. Peterson plays it back to the bowler, and then, he essays a violent sweep, thinking that's what he should have played, but he didn't, and that's the end of the 50 over. England are 157 for 3. Any tweets?
Hold on.
Hold on.
Who's
that weirdo?
No, Shawnee T says this has interrupted my World at War marathon. I just started episode 2. It's good to know. Yes, is in 2009. Right, I'm going to try and play the original fucking Michael Clark jingle now.
Hey!
There we go.
Used to live in Bondi and a flat pants they call buns. I heard his ex Laura Bingo was prone to a bungle, but now he's not so silly. He lives in Lily Pilly, and now I have been told he has married Kylie Boldy. Michael Clark. Michael Clark.
Oh yes, I remember it now.
Sing a song, Michael Clark. sing the song when I say Michael Clark.
There you go.
Well, I think what we've learned from this afternoon is that if we do experimental commentary, it is only ever listened to by Nestle Boy.
Yep.
Now, what were you doing at this time? Actually, we should ask him. What were you doing on this very day, Nestle Boy? Presumably, on the first day of the Ashes 2009, you were on gardening leave and you were contacting the Bear and Dan at Test Match Sofa, and the Bear was naming you that
Nestle Boy, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, Nestle Boy, in fact, does get in touch and says Brian Clough is trending because the debate over statues being torn down. Notts County fans suggesting that this one in Nottingham may be put in a Trent.
You can imagine statues everywhere just going.
Exactly.
Can't you? Be fantastic. Messi
That'll be
says,
David Pleat chucked off a bridge somewhere on the M1 then.
"Hi, David Pleat. Have you got something about David Pleat?"
Well, he used to be manager of Luton.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot the Watford Luton.
Tony, I once nearly ran over David Pleat.
Well, why did only nearly's not good enough, Fred?
He stepped out in the street in front of me. I could only see his back. I didn't realise it was him. Otherwise, I probably would have gone
Are you
through.
sure? Are you sure you weren't curb crawling, Fred?
Well, that was the gist of the comments that I made at him.
That ball,
Jumping
by
out
the way,
in
was
front of
swept
me.
at square leg, if anyone wants to know what's going on in the cricket.
Well, those Messi Jazz has tweeted as well. There are 6 people watching on YouTube. 6 people. That's almost as many people as we get for the Broad Dick Weller Trophy.
But not as many as the Alternative Gorilla podcast.
No, indeed not. Fred, continue commentating.
Okay, I'm just going to do a last over, and then I'm going to take a break.
Okay.
In fact, I'll just do this one ball. And Michael Clark is bowling left arm around the wicket, and this is short, and it's cut out to the sweeper on the offside. They take the single, the end of the 51st over, the end of my spell. England 162 for 3, and looking set there for a decent score.
Okay,
Bye, chaps. I'll see you later.
Yeah, cheers. For those people watching on YouTube and tweeting us in, does this sound like guerrilla cricket to you, or how does it feel? What's the feel? What's the feel out there, people? It sounds all right to me. Does it sound all right to you, Fred? Oh, he's gone. Sound all right to you, Bear?
Sounds all right to me. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like us. I just worry about this the problem with the TVs and syncing and stuff.
Yeah, that's the
I'd
one.
rather. So basically, it comes down to Hendo being so old-fashioned that you can't pause your TV.
Yes.
Which suggests to me, like most other things, like when I delivered a fucking headset to your house, that maybe you should just upgrade something, you know.
Well, I mean, I will look into the possibility of getting a box.
Because it'll make life a lot easier. Because if everyone can pause, then as anyone who's on it, if they've got, I mean, I can't believe you still got one that hasn't, but hey, if everyone can pause, then we can get into time with anybody at any time. Well, actually, having said that, as we go through the day, people who come on and off on different platforms will have blank air for 9 seconds. Or I tested with Sky Go; it's 44 seconds behind.
Well, that's too far. That's far too far.
That's far too far.
I think with we need to somehow find a way. If
I'm
you're
going
not
to stop broadcasting on YouTube.